At the start, we are shown a world of pirates, the sea robbers. The biggest pirate there was arrested today. The head of the Marine Force, that is the Sea Army, was going to punish him today by killing him. So he is brought in front of everyone, so that everyone can get advice to see his death. And after today, no one can become a pirate. All the pirates in this world should be killed. Because this pirate was the biggest and most dangerous pirate at that time. Because he had stolen a lot of treasure in his life and hidden it in a special place. And that pirate tells everyone that I have hidden a lot of treasure in the sea. That's why I tell everyone to go to the sea and find my treasure. Now people are so happy to hear this. They start raising slogans for him, because people now had the passion to find the treasure. Now seeing this, the head of the Marine base tells them to kill the pirate immediately, on which 2 soldiers put their big rods in him, and the pirate dies there. But now all the people start going from there to find that treasure. That means now they had decided to become a pirate. Seeing this, the head of the Marine base gets very angry, because his plan was reversed. He wanted the pirates to be killed. But after the death of that pirate, now a lot of pirates had come forward, and now they went to find the treasure of that big pirate. After this, we are shown the story of 22 years later. We see the hero of the story in the boat, whose name is Luffy. Luffy was also going to find the treasure of that pirate, because he wants to be the biggest pirate in the sea, and he has come a long way in his journey. But the boat in which he was riding, now water had started coming into it, because he was traveling for many days. Now he does not drown, so he quickly goes and sits in a drum. All his stuff started floating in the water, and the drum in which he was hiding. But here at least he was saved from drowning. But then his drum, while floating, reaches between the ships of 2 pirates. The 2 ships were fighting each other. Now here the captain of the big ship was a woman. To catch her, the Marine base had kept a big reward. She, along with her companions, then attacks the people of the other ship. She kills them one by one and makes them prisoners. She also brings them to her ship. The captain's companions also start looting the stuff of the other ship and bringing it into their ship. They also pick up that drum and bring it to their ship, on which Luffy was hiding. As soon as night falls, Luffy comes out of the drum. But a boy who was a prisoner sees him coming out, and he gets scared seeing Luffy and shouts. Luffy puts his hand on his mouth and makes him quiet, and says, "Do not be afraid, I will not harm you." After which Luffy tells him about himself that I am also a pirate, and that prisoner boy says that you do not look like a pirate, because you are looking good. On which Luffy's answer was that, no, all pirates are not the same, some are good too. Now here we are shown Luffy's childhood scene, and we know that he was fond of becoming a pirate since childhood. Luffy also liked a hero of pirates, who was also a pirate himself, and Luffy thought of him as his own hero. Now when the pirate hero comes back with his team, Luffy tells him, "Please include me in your team." On he replies that, "Son, you are still young. You are not even ready to become a pirate, because this job is very dangerous." Now after hearing this, Luffy got excited. He goes to the highest point of the ship, and takes everyone's attention to him, and then stabs his face with a knife and makes a mark, so that he can show everyone that I am no longer a child, and can become a pirate. The story comes back to the present time, where Luffy was telling all this to that prisoner boy. That boy asks him, "How can you dream of becoming a pirate? Because being a pirate is not such a special thing." On which Luffy replies that no, it is very good to be a pirate. Because by becoming a pirate, you can travel the sea with your friends, you can go on an adventure, and besides, no one says anything to the pirates. They are free. That's why I am so happy to become a pirate. The prisoner boy says, "I also want to be free. But the captain of this ship has imprisoned me here, and she will never let me be free." The sound of the captain snoring was so loud. Luffy asks, "What is this? What kind of sound is this? Have you kept a sea monster here?" On which the prisoner boy says that this is the sound of the captain snoring. Now the prisoner boy secretly takes Luffy upstairs, and says that they are all sleeping, so you run away from here. Now Luffy was going from there, because everyone knows about him from the chaos. And they wake up from sleep. After which the captain also comes here. Now the captain thinks that the prisoner boy was cheating me. He was also running away from here. That's why she attacks both of them with her weapon. She hits the prisoner boy first, but Luffy comes forward and puts her weapon aside, and saves the prisoner boy, after which he starts fighting alone with the captain and her companions. Although the captain's companions fire at him, but not a single bullet can harm Luffy. Seeing this, the captain gets angry, and she picked up her heavy weapon and hits Luffy in the stomach. But surprise, here Luffy pulls his body by making it elastic, and thus he is saved from her attack. Seeing this, the captain is quite surprised. How did he make his body elastic? And then Luffy makes his hands long and elastic, and goes to the other side of the ship. Then the captain also comes there, she attacks him again with her weapon. But Luffy moves back. And then the ship's wheel breaks, and there is a fire. Seeing all this, the captain becomes furious. She was angry with the prisoner boy. That's why she attacks him with her weapon. But then Luffy comes forward. The weapon hit his head. His head was crushed. But surprise, nothing happened to him. After which Luffy uses his most dangerous move, that is, his best way to kill. He makes his hands long and elastic, and makes a big punch, and he attacks the captain with it, due to which the captain falls far into the sea. And her work is over. Now seeing Luffy's powers, all those people are quite surprised and scared. That's why they gave up. Now Luffy was very happy with his deeds, and he was going to leave with the prisoner boy. Now let's see a swordsman, whose job is to catch pirates and kill them. Now a man came here who was a warrior. He tells the swordsman to join him, but he clearly refuses. Hearing the refusal, the warrior started fighting with the swordsman. Now he was a very good swordsman. He quickly moves his swords and fights the warrior. And then at one point, he used his swords very easily. He cuts the warrior and cuts him into 2 pieces. And in this way, the swordsman won this fight. Luffy and the prisoner boy had left that ship, and now they were moving forward in a small boat. Now because he saved Luffy's, and Luffy saved his life. That's why they become friends. The prisoner boy was quite surprised to see his powers. That's why he asks Luffy, "Where did you get the power of becoming flexible?" To which he tells him that in my childhood, when the pirate hero refused to include me in his team, then I got angry and ate a special kind of fruit. After this, I got the power to become flexible. Because when the pirate hero held my hand, I moved forward from there. And my hand became long and became flexible. Then the prisoner boy asks, "Now where are we going?" Luffy tells him that we are going to the Grand Line. That is, the same place where the treasure of the great pirate is hidden. That boy asks, "Do you know the way to the Grand Line?" To which Luffy replies, "No, I don't know." But now that boy says, "I also have a dream like you. I actually want to become a marine soldier, so that I can help the weak people." After hearing this, Luffy says, "Then okay, let's do one thing. Now we go to the marine base from here. I will get the map of the Grand Line from there, and you can stop there to become a marine soldier." To which the prisoner boy says, "Wow, this is a very good idea. Let's do this." And now these two leave to go to the marine base. Now in the meantime, we see a girl named Nami in the sea, who was in her boat, and her condition was bad. She was about to die, because she was feeling a lot of weakness. When she opened her eyes, she saw a big boat there, which had 2 boys, when Nami asks for help from them. But then she sees that these 2 are pirates. That's why she tries to cover the box in her boat with a cloth. It felt like there was something precious in it. Seeing this, the 2 boys get off their boat, come to Nami's boat, and try to open that box and see. As soon as they opened the box, there was nothing in it. Now when the boys saw above, then Nami steals their boat and runs away from there, because she did all this drama, so that the boys come in her boat. And she can run away after taking their boat. And now Nami also comes to the nearby marine base. There Luffy and the prisoner boy were sitting in a hotel and eating. Where the swordsman also comes, a girl makes food for him with her own hands. But then the ill-mannered son of the marine captain comes here. He snatches the food from the girl's hand and drops it down, and crushes it with his own feet. After which he behaves very badly with the girl. The girl was very upset. The swordsman did not like this. That's why he tells the son of the marine captain to apologize to the girl. On which the ill-mannered boy laughs and says, "What did you say? I apologize to this girl? Never." Saying this, he takes out the sword. Seeing this, the swordsman also takes out his sword. Just by hitting him a couple of times, he defeats him. Seeing this, some other people also come to the swordsman to fight him, but he kicks one and drops him. He hits one's head on the table. He holds the arms of 2 men and breaks them, and throws them aside and hits. He holds one and rotates so that he kicks him hard. Then Nami also comes here. She also hits a man's head on the table, and injures him and takes him aside. Now the imprisoned boy was very scared. Hiding under the table, he was watching all this. While Luffy was enjoying this fight a lot, the swordsman killed all the marine soldiers. After which he catches the son of the marine captain. He was about to kill him. That's when the boy says, "Please leave me. I am the captain's son. I will give you whatever you ask for." Hearing this, the swordsman leaves him for now. And his dad comes to the marine captain to take his reward, because his duty was also to kill the pirates. But the Marine captain says, "First, you have to give me the reward, which is that you have to be imprisoned with me for 7 days." On this, the swordsman says, "If you try to imprison me, your son will die first." Hearing this, the son of the Marine captain gets angry and tells his dad, "Dad, what are you doing? Give him the money." But his dad hits him and throws him away. Now the Marine captain tells the swordsman, "After this act of yours, no Marine base will give you a reward, no matter how many pirates you can kill. Now you have 2 options. Either you work with us, or you get imprisoned with me for 7 days. On which the swordsman says, "I will not work with you. But yes, I get imprisoned for 7 days. And now he is caught and imprisoned. He is tied up. Now the next day Luffy also comes here, to steal the map of the Grand Line. Luffy came from a small way, when he sees that the swordsman is tied up there. Then he opens his ropes and frees him, and goes back from the way he came from. There Nami steals a marine officer's uniform, wears it and goes inside. Because she also came here to steal the map of the Grand Line. But when she was looking for the map, then 2 marine officers come inside and recognize her, that Nami is not a marine officer. In fact, she is only wearing a uniform. So they attack her. But she also moved ahead quickly. She wraps the male officer in her leg and drops him down, and attacks the female officer from the road and finishes her work. During this time, after breaking the roof, Luffy also comes here, because he heard everything. And now they both came to know that we have come here to steal the map of the Grand Line. Now Luffy starts going to the Marine Captain's office, because the map of the Grand Line is kept there. Then Nami also starts following him. But then suddenly the Marine Captain comes in front of them. And because Nami was wearing a uniform, so he considers her a Marine officer, Nami tells him here that actually I have just imprisoned this prisoner, so I was going to put him in jail. Hearing this, the captain leaves from here. But here we saw that Nami is very cunning. She had cut the Marine Captain's pocket, and now the keys to his office had come to them. So now they both open the lock with the keys, and enter his office. Separately, they start looking for the map of the Grand Line. The Marine Captain now comes to the place where those 2 officers were lying, who Nami had just beaten. Both the officers tell the Marine Captain that the girl with red hair, that is Nami. She is not a Marine soldier. In fact, she has entered here. She is a pirate. Hearing this, the Marine Captain remembered that she has gone to my office. That's why he rings an emergency alarm here. There, Luffy and Nami had found that safe, in which the map of the Grand Line was kept. But even after a lot of effort, they were not able to open this safe. Then the Marine Captain had also come out. He starts knocking on the door, and tells them to open the door. But here Luffy holds the safe tightly. Nami comes behind him and grabs him tightly. Here Luffy uses his elastic power, pulls and stretches his arms, and both of them jump and come out of there with the safe. Both of them had come here safely. But then the Marine officers come there and surround them from all sides. But here Luffy and Nami face them very bravely. Luffy pushes them away with his fists, while Nami beats them with a rod and kills them. And then the swordsman also comes here with his swords. He sees that Luffy and Nami, they are both children and are getting beaten by them. That's why he also jumps into this fight to help them. As soon as a soldier moves forward to kill him, he kicks him and puts him aside, and then jumps and falls on an officer's face. He hits the other with a sword and puts him aside. And these 3 kill all the Marine soldiers. These 3 were still standing. That's when the Marine Captain comes here. He had come to fight them, because he had a blade weapon in his hand, with which he attacks them. But then Luffy and the swordsman come in front, and start fighting him. Although the swordsman was fighting him with his 2 swords, but the Marine Captain was very brave. He was also getting heavier. That's why the swordsman also has to take out his 3rd sword. Here Luffy also uses his elastic power. He makes his arm long and faces him, but the Marine Captain also catches his hand easily. Now the swordsman puts his 3rd sword in his mouth, and starts fighting the captain with 2 swords. As soon as he hits the captain with 1 sword, he jumps and falls far away. And now here Luffy also uses his special move. That is, by making the arm long, by making a big punch, he hits the captain on the face, with which he also falls far away, and fell there. And now, finally, they were saved from the Marine Army and the Marine Captain, because of which they were very happy. The swordsman helps them more. He picks up the safe and takes it to Luffy's boat. Before they leave from here, the son of the Marine Captain comes here with guns. But then the prisoner boy also comes here, and he hits him hard on his face and makes him unconscious. Luffy is very happy to see him, that you have come here too. And now he also thinks of taking him with him, because now the Marine Army was after them. on which the prisoner boy says, "That no, you go. I will stay here. To fulfill my dream, I will become a good marine officer, to help people and to eliminate cruelty." After listening to him, Luffy was very impressed, and now he takes Nami and the swordsman in that boat and leaves from there. Now we see the head of the marine base again, who had caught the biggest pirate 22 years ago and had punished him. Now the head of the base finds out that someone from their marine base has stolen the map of the Grand Line. Knowing this, the head of the marine base gets very upset. And now he also comes to this marine base. Now we were shown a Joker, who was also a pirate, and he also wanted the map of the Grand Line. That's why he sends his people behind Luffy to steal that map. There Luffy, Nami, and the swordsman were moving ahead of the boat. Here happily Nami opens the safe, from which they get the map of the Grand Line, seeing which they become very happy. Here Nami tells Luffy and the swordsman that the sea of the world is situated in 4 parts, and the line of the land that is coming to the sea. There is a line above it, and it is called the Grand Line. The treasure is there. So now we will go there to find the treasure. They were just talking, and they felt a movement from the outside, because actually the pirates of the Joker had attacked their boat. His pirates were in the sky. They spread the gas of unconsciousness from there. As soon as the gas went inside the people, they also become unconscious by smelling it. Before becoming unconscious here, Luffy had seen those pirates. That's why he quickly hid the map of the Grand Line in his mouth. After which, he became unconscious. After that, when these 3 came to their senses, then they see that we have been imprisoned in a big box, and all their things were taken by the pirates of the Joker. But Luffy tells them not to worry. The map of the Grand Line is absolutely safe with me. Here is in my stomach. Now as the box opens, then these 3 are on a stage, where the Joker and his companions were showing the show. The audience here were prisoners, by making them slaves. They were being forced to clap here. Now the captain of all this comes here, as soon as he sees him. Luffy recognizes that he is a pirate. There is also a lot of reward for it. Luffy tells the Joker here, "See very soon, I am going to be the king of pirates," on which the Joker says with a smile, "Oh, you will become the king of pirates. Just see I will become, when I will steal the map of the Grand Line, and I will get that treasure." Then after saying this, the Joker asks him for the map of the Grand Line. But then the cunning Nami comes in front, and says, "What are you talking about, the map? Do you know? We have something more than a map." Saying this, she takes Luffy's cap, and throws it up in the air. Now as everyone's attention went up, she gets a chance and runs away from here. Luffy stretches his hand again to hold his cap. Now seeing his elastic power, all the people are very tense, even the Joker. How did he do this? Now when Nami comes out of the circus, when she sees that the Joker has destroyed their whole city, seeing the bad condition of the city, she was also thinking, that's when the Joker's people come here and catch her, and bring her to their head, the Joker. Then the Joker's people catch the swordsman and Nami, and take them with them. Joker comes to Luffy, and asks him about the map of the Grand Line, but he doesn't tell him anything, because of which the Joker got angry, and, to punish Luffy, he ties his hands and legs, and by pulling them, he stretches them longer, because he felt that doing this would hurt Luffy. But Luffy was laughing instead, because he was not in pain but he was enjoying. Now when the Joker comes to Luffy, then he recognizes him by his cap, that this is the cap of the pirate hero. Then here the Joker tells him that when I was your age, then me and the pilot hero used to be in the same team, but he also betrayed me. Now to take the map from Luffy, the Joker makes a move here. He brings a child in front of him, and says that if you don't give the map, then I will kill him. Seeing this, Luffy got angry, and somehow he gets himself released, and here he uses his special move, that is, he stretches his arms, and makes a big punch, and hits the Joker on the face, which breaks his head, and breaks away from the body and falls far away. But surprisingly, even after breaking his head, the Joker was not dead but alive. His severed head was speaking and laughing, and the body was also doing its work, and then his head comes again, and gets attached to his body. Seeing this, Luffy gets very surprised. Then the Joker tells him, that like you, I too had eaten that special kind of fruit, so then I got this power. That is, I can cut my body into pieces, and can also join again. Now the Joker stands there, separates his hand, and sends his hand to Luffy. He breaks the unconscious gas again, by which Luffy also becomes unconscious. There Nami and the swordsman were now imprisoned. But here Nami had the key to open the lock. With the help of this, she starts opening the lock. But then here a companion of the Joker came. He comes to the swordsman and says, that you had beaten very my brother and my people badly. And today I will take revenge of that thing. I will also beat you in the same way. Now the swordsman was tied to a round thing like a wheel, by which the Joker he beats that man. And with the help of knives, he repeatedly aims at him, but he was a failed aimer, and none of his aiming seemed right. Meanwhile, Nami opens the lock, and comes out quickly. He kicks this man of the Joker, and throws him towards the swordsman. The swordsman quickly catches him with his arm. Nami opens the ropes of the swordsman. When he is free, he beats that man, and makes him unconscious, and they both come out of here. Now the head of the Marine base had also come here. Here, the Marine captain lies to the head of the Marine base, so that he can trap the prisoner. He says it was my son's mistake, because of which pirate that is Luffy. He stole the map of the Grand Line, and ran away from here. A new Marine officer saved my son, by saying that he makes him meet the prisoner, the head of the Marine base. When he sees the prisoner, he gets suspicious that he is nervous, so surely he is also with Luffy. So he calls him to meet him alone. Now when the prisoner went to meet him, then the head of the Marine base tells him, "Tell me, since when are you working with those pirates? Because I have known all the truth, I am sure." Here the head of the base also says, "That once you were seen with Luffy, so now whatever is the truth, tell me quickly." Hearing this, the prisoner got very nervous, and he tells all the truth to the head of the Marine base, says that Luffy had helped me, to free me from my captain. Then he and I ran away from that ship and came here, after which he left, but I stayed here, because I wanted to become a Marine officer. Now the head realizes that he is telling the truth, so he includes the prisoner along with him, so that they can catch Luffy together. There the Joker caught Luffy and put him in a tank. When he regains consciousness, he finds himself here and gets very worried, because in this tank, the seawater was flowing gradually. And because of the seawater, Luffy is not able to use his powers here, because he was becoming weak here. Then the Joker also came here, and he again asks for the Grand Line, but Luffy does not give him. Because of this, the Joker got very angry, and he increases the speed of the water in the tank, and now the seawater came there quickly, and started falling on Luffy. Now we are shown Luffy's childhood scene again, where at that time, he was very sad, when the pirate hero left him alone and went. After his departure, another pirate came here, who was very bad. As soon as he comes, he catches Luffy and starts beating him, starts troubling him. But just at this time, the pirate hero came here again, when he saw that these people are treating Luffy like this. Then he killed all the companions of that pirate one by one. But by then that bad pirate took Luffy, put him in the boat, and came to the sea. But then a very big sea monster comes here, and attacks his boat, because of which his boat turned upside down, and both of them go to the sea and fall. Because of drowning, that bad pirate dies there, before Luffy drowns in the water and dies. Here the pirate hero comes and saves his life. After this, that sea monster comes up again to attack them. He opened his big mouth, and was about to eat Luffy. That's when the pirate hero comes and saves him. As soon as the monster closed his mouth, the pirate hero stares into the monster's eyes. This scared the monster a lot, and runs away from there. But Luffy sees that that monster has eaten one arm of the pirate hero, which hurt little Luffy a lot. So now here Luffy realized that really I am still a child. I am not worthy of being a pirate. Now the pirate hero was about to leave here. Before leaving, he gives his cap to Luffy, which was his last memory for Luffy, which in the present time, Joker was ruined in front of Luffy. But he couldn't do anything to save his cap, because by filling water, he was drowning in the tank. But because of this, he was very angry. In the meantime, here Nami and the swordsman also came. Nami hits the road by hitting the tank, by which the tank gets damaged. Luffy by then was also unconscious in the water. Now seeing both of them, Joker got very scared. He starts looking around his companions, so that he can call for help. But Nami and the swordsman had already killed his companions. The cracks had become very deep, so the tank breaks, and with the flow of water Luffy comes out. He was also conscious by then. And now from his mouth, the map of the Grand Line also comes out. Now in front of Luffy, two things were lying: map and his cap. Because his cap was more important. That's why he moves towards it. Luffy picks up the cap, while Joker picks up the map. Seeing which he was very happy. Seeing this, the swordsman attacks him with a sword. The swordsman had cut his throat, but with his strength, he joins his throat again, and he starts showing him his powers. That means in front of his eyes he cuts his body parts, and starts joining again. And then he, by cutting a lot of pieces of his body, attacks Nami and the swordsman, although Nami and the swordsman were fighting with the pieces of his body, but he was hitting them hard. Seeing this, Luffy got very angry at Joker. That's why he also got up to fight him. He uses his special move here. He passes his punch to his stomach. But anything wasn't happened to Joker. And now he also attacks Luffy. Joker's cut hand comes and grabs Luffy's neck and starts strangling him. When Luffy saw on the side, there were a lot of boxes lying there, which Luffy shows to Nami and explains his whole plan. After which Luffy and the swordsman, by doing this, throws the pieces of Joker's body towards the boxes. And Nami quickly, with the help of a rod, keeps them trapped. That's why the Joker was left with a few parts of body. Now he became very little. And now here Luffy uses his special power. He stretches out his arms and makes big hands. He attacks him with both his hands and blows him away. After which Luffy gives that map to Nami, because now he believed in both of them. And they became good friends. Now all three of them free the prisoners there, who were made an audience and made to sit there.